Hello everyone, Other Helmet Guy here, and today we're talking about the new Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced that just dropped. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more, but let's get into it. It seems it's true that visuals matter more for games nowadays, similar to what we saw with the new Star Fox game. Adding height and realistic visuals helps increase scores with a lot of reviewers, and sure, it does look nice. But sometimes that's not the only thing that needs improving. With the Resynced, they've added a couple more features to the original game, but it's mostly due to a lot of added new characters, more cutscenes, and certain sceneries that weren't there before. I've noticed a trend with remakes where all you have to do is heighten the visuals from the old games and improve certain things. Not everything, and that seems to be enough for some titles. Will the next game with Halo get the same treatment? Well, when it comes out, who knows? I'm not gonna talk visuals, every review's covered that already. Let's talk mechanics. The good tailing missions are basically optional now. In the original, half the game felt like a tailing mission, fail and you're back to square one. Now if you're spotted, it just shifts the objective instead of restarting you. Great change, but it does raise the question, what's the point of stealth if you can just breeze through it? No stakes, no pressure. Depends on your taste. New mechanics. You can crouch and roll now, and parkour's technically an improvement, clearly borrowed from Shadows, but it feels weightless, like you're gliding up buildings. No weight to the climbing. So yeah, real improvement. They also cut the present-day office sections, good riddance, honestly. And the what-if segment, a bit confusing, not sure if it's meant to make you second-guess Edward's choices. Funny thing though, the rewards you get, like the healing trinket and pistol sword, were both just free stuff in the original. So it's less new content, and more an illusion of getting something you already had. Oh, and you can't replay old missions anymore, kills replay value. Wouldn't be surprised if they patch that back in later. Bit cheeky. Now for the ship missions and combat. I mentioned some of this in my previous video, but thinking about it more, they did add new content for the ships in some ways. The problem is there's a lot of ideas but not much expansion on them. For example, I wish they'd expand ship customization further, maybe add new weapon types that weren't in the original, or let you build out a bigger ship with more cannons, similar to the biggest enemy ships in the game. Tons of firepower, but slow and less mobile. Or go the other way, a lighter, faster ship with less firepower but way more speed and edge. There's so many different ship types in this game, it feels like a missed opportunity not to explore that more. And then there's the pets, I'm a bit confused why they're even there. Sure, they add some scenery, maybe a bit of a morale booster, but that's it. What else do they actually do? Can you bring them on missions? Like, use a monkey to distract guards or pickpocket for you instead of doing it yourself? Or have them help you find treasure? I wish they'd expanded that idea instead of leaving it purely cosmetic. And ship combat boarding. I'm honestly a bit surprised they didn't bring back a mechanic from the Rogue version of the game, where enemies could actually board you. That's not in Resynced at all, you just sink if you lose. As for the ship's interior, they did keep the captain's cabin from the original, which is good. That's where you customize the ship and check on Edward's outfit. But it'd be nice if they expanded on that and let you actually walk through more of the ship itself, not just that one room. Now let's talk microtransactions and censorship. The microtransactions in this game are ridiculous for what you're paying. Yes, I get it. They're not purely cosmetic, some of the trinkets and weapons in these packs do come with actual perks. But that's not really the point. Charging $10 for a single pack is ridiculous when you consider the original game's cosmetic packs were way cheaper. We're talking under $3 each back in 2013, with their entire season pass only costing $19.99. This remake is mostly added content with better visuals, not some massive overhaul from the original. So if you're already paying $60 or $70 for a game that's fundamentally based on something that already existed, charging this much on top of that for cosmetics is kind of ridiculous. And then there's the censorship. People love to say, it's just a redesign, not censorship, but let's be real, this happens with a lot of games now, and people are starting to notice the pattern. We're at this point where a woman looking too attractive gets treated like it's somehow a problem, especially with how they toned down the statues too. Now for the combat. I've heard people say it's a big improvement over the original, more challenging, easier to use, and sure, I get where that's coming from. But it feels like it's mostly just modernized for a modern audience, you know, with the perfect parry and perfect dodge basically being instant kills. It's the same mechanic every other game's been using lately, so calling it an improvement feels like a stretch. It's just what's trendy right now. Here's the funny thing. In the original, you weren't 100% reliant on your swords. You could fight completely unarmed, disarm enemies, and steal their weapons, muskets, axes, whatever they had, and use it against them. It'd be pretty ridiculous if Edward lost his swords and just stood there doing nothing, right? But that's basically what happens now, since you can't unequip your swords or pick up dropped weapons at all. They even cut throwing knives, which were great for quick kills at range and just felt slick to use. And the hidden blades, in the original, you could actually use them freely in combat, not just for stealth kills. Now they've locked that down too, so the hidden blade only comes out for stealth takedowns and specific scripted moments, not as an actual combat option like before. And the variety's gone too. In the original, a successful counter gave you options: kill them, use a tool on them, disarm and stun them, or grab and throw them to trip them up. So many different ways to handle a fight. Now it's mostly parry, dodge, chain takedown, repeat. Now, for chain kills, yes, you could chain takedowns on regular guards in the original, but it never worked on captains or heavies. You had to break their defense first. That's still true in the remake too, so at least that part's consistent. But everything else feels stripped down. It's fine for a while, you might not notice it right away, but the repetition creeps in fast. Wouldn't be surprised if they patch some of this stuff back in, kind of getting silly at this point. So those are my thoughts on this game. Sure, they might improve some of this stuff later on with updates, but at this point, relying on "we'll fix it later" instead of just having it right at launch is getting a bit ridiculous. It feels like that's just becoming the new trend nowadays: ship it now, patch it eventually. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And once again, thanks for watching.